Thomas Edison is an American inventor known for inventing the light bulb. You may have heard of it, but did you know that he also publicly electrocuted an elephant? Or did he? What's good, guys? It's Alissa. If you're new here, hello. I'm shocked to say that I only have 2 Bob's Burgers videos on my channel today, which is insane to say because I've actually kept up with the show since the first season and I'm gonna watch the season 14 finale right after I record this. There aren't many channels that cover Bob's Burgers from an analytical view, including mine, so I'm so glad I found 𝙬𝙪𝙗𝙀 TV because she's really good at diving into Bob's Burgers lore, and low-key, her Untold Story of Zeke video changed my opinion on Zeke and Tina because I used to not get it, but I get it. I get it now. I get it. But in today's video, I want to cover an episode that touches on the American history of Thomas Edison and a bad elephant in the season 3 episode titled Topsy. The episode starts with the Belcher family in the kitchen. Louise is looking for her old science fair project and Bob is concerned because she's attempting to turn in a volcano project that she already did last school year. Louise tells him not to worry because she can play her teacher, Mr. Blevins, like a fiddle and make him accept her old project again.
Louise, shouldn't you just do a new project like you're supposed to?
Why?
I don't know, to learn something?
You learn something.
Okay, honey, good luck with your volcano.
But when Louise arrives at school, she's met with a surprise. Mr. Blevins is out with gout and is replaced by a substitute teacher named Mr. Dinkler.
What happened to Mr. Blevins?
He's dead. To this classroom.
Mr. Dinkler is a Thomas Edison impersonator and reenactor. And since Mr. Blevins is out, Mr. Dinkler is now in charge of the science fair. But he has one rule.
No volcanoes.
Louise immediately combats this rule, saying that she already got the go-ahead to turn in her volcano from Mr. Blevins. Mr. Dinkler's demeanor completely shifts in a creepy, serious way. He makes his way to Louise and decides her science fair project for her. Being the Thomas Edison enthusiast that he is, it's no surprise that he chooses her project to be on Thomas Edison.
But I'm doing Thomas Edison.
You can both do Edison, moron. There's enough of him to go around. Trust me.
What do you mean by that?
Louise is persistent on turning in her volcano, but after Mr. Dinkler destroys it, she has no choice but to cover Thomas Edison. Now that Louise has to actually do research for her project, the Belcher kids head to the library to get to work. They ask for assistance on where to find information on Thomas Edison from the librarian, Mr. Ambrose. After he tells them to check biographies under E, he suspiciously whispers the word Topsy.
Are you saying top chef?
I think he said Topsy.
Curious to know what Mr. Ambrose is talking about, they head over to the computer to search for Topsy. They click on the video related to Topsy, and to their surprise are met with disturbing footage of an elephant being electrocuted to death in public by Thomas Edison. If you're anything like me after you watch this episode, you are probably wondering, is that true? Did Thomas Edison really electrocute an elephant in public and film it? Topsy is very real. In fact, Topsy was born in the wild around 1875 in Southeast Asia and was captured soon after by elephant traders. Adam Forepaugh, owner of the Forepaugh Circus, had the elephant secretly smuggled into the United States with plans that he would advertise the baby as the first elephant born in the United States. The name Topsy came from a slave girl character in Uncle Tom's Cabin. At maturity, Topsy was 10 feet high and 20 feet long, with claims that she weighed between 4 and 6 short tons. Over the years, Topsy gained a reputation as a bad elephant.
Well, it says that Topsy trampled 3 people.
One confirmed account of Topsy actually ending someone's life was James Fielding Blount. Allegedly, the spectator wandered into Topsy's tent, threw sand on her, and burned the tip of her trunk with a cigar. And in retaliation, Topsy then threw him to the ground and crushed him. Newspaper reports on Blount contained what seemed to be exaggerated accounts of Topsy's man-killing past, with claims that she killed up to 12 men, but with more common accounts that during the 1900 season, she had killed 2 Forepaugh and Sells Brothers circus workers, 1 in Paris, Texas, and 1 in Waco, Texas. Topsy was sold in 1902 to Paul Boynton, owner of Coney Island Sea Lion Park. The elephant's handler from Forepaugh, William Whitey Alt, came along with Topsy to work at the park. Topsy was used in publicity, moving timbers, and even the fanciful airship Luna, part of the amusement ride A Trip to the Moon. During the moving of the Luna in October 1902, handler William Alt was involved in an incident where he stabbed Topsy with a pitchfork trying to get her to pull the amusement ride. When confronted by a police officer, Alt turned Topsy loose from her work harness to run free in the streets, leading to Alt's arrest. The occurrence was attributed to the handler's drinking. In December 1902, a drunk alt rode Topsy down the streets of Coney Island and walked or tried to ride Topsy to the local police station. Accounts say Topsy tried to batter her way through the station door, and she set up a terrific trumpeting, leading the officers to take refuge in the cells. The handler was fired after that incident. Without alt to handle Topsy, the owners of Luna Park, Frederick Thompson and Elmer Dundee, claimed they could no longer handle the elephant and tried to get rid of her. But they couldn't even give her away, and no other circus or zoo would take her. On December 13th of 1902, Luna Park press agent Charles Murray released a statement to the newspapers that Topsy would be put to death within a few days by electrocution. In order to take down Mr. Dinkler, Louise decides to do her project exposing Thomas Edison as an electrocutioner.
Don't do it! Don't do it! Do it! Do it!
As American society has become more sensitive to the suffering of animals, the execution of Topsy has been portrayed in popular media as an example of animal cruelty. Edison has therefore been accused of torturing Topsy in order to satisfy his ego and further his commercial interests.
Louise decides to put on a huge production, casting Gene and Tina as Edison and Topsy to reenact Topsy's public electrocution. She asks Teddy, their handyman, to create a machine with huge sparks and lightning. So he agrees to create a Van de Graaff generator for her. Gene and Tina settle on a musical production singing the tale of an American inventor and his love for an elephant, but quickly realize they don't know how to sing. To work around this hindrance, they ask their landlord Mr. Fishodder and their Aunt Gail to lip sync for them. During rehearsals, Louise objects to musical elements and just wants this to be a straightforward expose. They decide to do a test of the pyro, with Tina standing on the mat. Luckily, Tina's elephant nose falls off, making her step off of the platform right before the machine goes kablam. The other student doing a project on Thomas Edison, whose name is Jeremy, happens to see this and decides to tell Mr. Dinkler what he just saw. Time passes by and it's time to do their big show at the science fair. Before they leave for their performance, Louise asks Teddy if the pyro is all good to go.
I think so, except for, I'm sure it'll be fine.
When Mr. Dinkler catches wind of Louise's plan, he bans her from the science fair for trying to tarnish Thomas Edison's name. That is alliteration. Woo. And she has to remain in the principal's office until it's over. With Louise locked away, Mr. Dinkler tells Gene and Tina to put on their musical performance about Edison to dispel the rumors, against Louise's wishes. When the librarian comes into the principal's office to deliver some books, Louise takes it as her chance to bust out and tell the Edison story her way. After fighting tooth and nail to get away from Mr. Dinkler, Louise gives Teddy the green light to kickstart the pyro and demonstrate the demise of Topsy. But in her ego-filled determination, this would also be the demise of Tina.
I'm okay.
Earlier in the episode, Tina had an epiphany. Topsy wanted Tina to tell her story, so Tina decided to fake her death to teach Louise a lesson.
Oh my god! I almost electrocuted my sister! I've become Edison.
Oh, you wish!
When the Belcher kids started their research on Topsy, they didn't do their due diligence by actually researching the incident.
Look, Topsy the circus elephant.
Thomas Edison wanted to show the world that AC current was more dangerous than his own patented DC current.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's a video. Click that.
So what really happened?
While Edison had nothing to do with the decision to euthanize Topsy and took no part in the proceedings, the SPCA's understanding of electrocution as a humane means of dispatching animals was certainly influenced by experiments Edison and his associates had made at his West Orange laboratory during the late 1880s. The War of Currents was a series of events surrounding the introduction of competing electric power transmission systems in the late 1880s and early 1890s. Thomas Edison's direct current system, DC, and George Westinghouse and Nikola Tesla's alternating current system, AC. Thanks for having me on, Alissa. This was super fun. I didn't read the whole script. I didn't want to get spoiled, so I'm excited to see how this video comes out. And yeah, thanks again for having me on. Oh, and congrats on 10K. The Tina video and the Daria video going crazy. So yeah, congrats, and hopefully we can do this again.
You're so welcome. And when you're ready to make that third surfing related video, just hit me up. These experiments at Edison's West Orange laboratory did convince SPCA officials that electrocution was a more humane and efficient way of euthanizing animals. However, the efforts by Edison and his company to disparage the Westinghouse system failed as a competitive strategy because AC proved to be more efficient for transmitting electricity over large distances. Edison is not mentioned in any of the numerous contemporaneous newspaper accounts of the killing of Topsy, nor is there any evidence that officials of Luna Park, the SPCA, or the Brooklyn Illuminating Co. consulted him on the case. It is also unlikely that he was personally involved in the producing of the film Electrocuting an Elephant, even though the title bears his name. The execution took place on a dreary January 4th. Topsy was dosed with poison and a rope was put around her neck. Electricians from the local electric company fitted 2 of the elephant's feet with electrodes to administer the shock. Once the switch was flipped, it took just 10 seconds before Topsy fell over and died. The New Bedford Mercury reported that the SPCA officers present had said that they had never seen a more humane manner of causing death, though they likely had very little real understanding of the effects of electrocution in spite of the experiments Edison had done. So is Louise wrong in accusing Edison for being an electrocutioner? In short, no. Edison had his hand in many American innovations.
Can anyone name any of his inventions?
The light
The
bulb.
light bulb, the phonograph, the kinetoscope. It goes on and on and on. Basically everything.
To quote Aristotle, no great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. In Edison's case, this genius was paired with some sociopathic tendencies. In the race to win the War of the Currents, Team DC is said to have killed 44 dogs, 4 calves, and 2 horses in the name of discrediting Westinghouse Tesla's AC. Many accounts accuse Thomas Edison of being an egomaniac whose name would be plastered as the sole inventor, despite having a team. So although Louise had the cart leading the horse, if she would have actually put in the effort, I have no doubt that she would have been able to pull off a better Thomas Edison takedown. This is only season 3, but we actually do see examples of Louise applying herself better in later seasons. For example, in the season 12 episode Touch of Eval, Euations, her teacher, Miss LeBons, admits that she sees Louise as a bright girl, so she pushes her to do her best in school. And we later see this applied in the season 13 finale, Amelia, when Louise drowns herself in Amelia Earhart lore for a multimedia project on Heroes, only to be disappointed in her disappearance, making her want to switch her topic. With encouragement from her mom Linda, she was able to execute a passionate biographical project on Amelia Earhart. So what part of the Topsy Edison story did Louise miss?
In popular culture, Topsy is often portrayed as being electrocuted in a public demonstration organized by Thomas Edison during the War of Currents to show the dangers of alternating current. Examples of this view include a 2008 Wired magazine article titled Edison Fries an Elephant to Prove His Point, and a 2013 episode of the animated comedy series Bob's Burgers titled Topsy.
The events surrounding Topsy took place 10 years after the end of the war. At the time of Topsy's death, Edison was no longer involved in the electric lighting business. Just how many people came out to witness Topsy's execution is a matter of dispute. The newspaper accounts vary from several thousand to 1,500 to only persons immediately concerned and reporters. Edison himself was not present at Luna Park when the film was made, and it is unclear as to the input he had on Topsy's death or its filming, since the Edison Manufacturing Film Company made over 1,200 short films during that time period with very little to no guidance from Edison as to what was filmed. 2 things that may have indelibly linked Thomas Edison to Topsy's death were the primary newspaper sources describing it as being carried out by the electricians of the Edison Company, leading to the eventual confusion of the unrelated power company with the man, and the fact that the film of the event, like most Edison films from that period, was credited on screen to Thomas A. Edison, although Edison himself had no actual involvement in the production. This episode tripped me up when I first seen it, and if you're anything like me, you already knew all this information when you first watched the episode because you're just that curious. But I would like to know your thoughts on this episode. First and foremost, I want to thank Strippy TV and Corduroy Crook for helping me out with this video. I appreciate you guys so much. This was so fun. Also, guys, we hit 10,000 subscribers, and like, oh my gosh. My goal was to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're like halfway through and I'm like already at that goal. So I I don't know what this year has in store for me. It's just been literally curveball after curveball, and I'm so excited to see what the future holds for me. Like, it's only up from here. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you would like to keep up with me outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. All that information is always in my description box down below, along with any music that I use in my videos. But if you made it to the end of this video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell to stay up to date with posts and uploads from me. But for now, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace!